Now to some breaking news. The FBI has discovered videos at the storage facility where the Boston University shooter took his own life. Police say Claudio Manuel Neves is the man responsible for killing two people at Brown and an MIT professor. The FBI published a transcript of the videos Neves left behind, which were translated from Portuguese to English. In one, Neves said, quote, "So what has been done now? I'm in a storage space in Salem," referencing the place where he took his own life. CBS News senior crime and public safety producer Anna Schechter joining us live now. So, Anna, what are we learning from these transcripts?
Juliet, this is really extraordinary to see because we know now that he had been planning this for weeks and months. It matches up his description, essentially saying that he had many opportunities over the last semester. I think we even have a quote talking about where he talks about how he chickened out after having opportunities. There you see it on your screen. I had plenty of opportunities, especially this semester. I had plenty of opportunities, but I always chickened out. And I already explained why I did it this time. Now, interestingly, the Department of Justice says that he actually didn't explain exactly why. They say they are still searching for a motive. There you see, he also talks about um, how there was reporting about something that he yelled right when he opened fire. And he's saying that I must have made an exclamation like, "oh no," or something like that to express that it was empty. That is, quote, "if I said something like that, I thought that the people had left," end quote. So he's really, in a cold, calculating way, describing this horrific attack. And I guess it's not surprising that somebody demonstrating some kind of sociopathic language carried out these attacks, but it is chilling, certainly, to read this transcript. It's interesting that the Department of Justice chose to release this. They probably want to show that they have been making progress. They were able to get access to his devices. In one of the videos, he says that it was recorded on an SD card, so they were able to upload those, review them, get them translated, and they wanted to enter it into the record. I think they want to demonstrate that even though the perpetrator is deceased, they continue to try to seek information and therefore justice in some way for the families of the two students who were killed and the other students who were injured. And of course, the MIT professor, the brilliant professor who was the father of young children, married, uh, that he was assassinated at close range. That's another thing, Juliet, that's interesting when you read this transcript carefully. He talks about being injured in the eye after he shot the professor at close range. And he's so concerned about his own injury, and he shows absolutely no remorse or concern about the lives lost and the injured people injured by his gunshot. It's just a true.
Yeah, he sounds like a clear sociopath. Sounds like a clear definition of a sociopath. He doesn't care about he can't empathize with other people. Absolutely crazy. Let's keep going.
Truly chilling, just chilling evidence of that kind of narcissism and self absorption. And having covered a lot of cases, it is not uncommon for the perpetrator of these cold blooded murders to be so consumed thinking about themselves and not showing remorse for victims. But that really did stand out to me in reviewing these
Yeah,
transcripts.
it certainly does. No concept over what they're doing, just about their own physical being. So we know law enforcement are still investigating this case. What more are they looking for at this stage?
Well, they say really want to find a motive. Here's what they've told us, and what we learned from our own reporting is that the MIT professor and this shooter had studied together in the late 1990s. So, more than 25 years ago, they were in the same exact academic physics track at a university in Portugal. So, they definitely knew of each other. But fast forward, we don't have a timeline of the two of them interacting. We don't have his internet searches. Was he obsessed with this professor? Was he searching him, reading articles as the professor was gaining more and more respect and fame, really, for leading this prestigious laboratory of 250 scientists at MIT and doing really important, groundbreaking work. Meanwhile, he himself was not succeeding in that field of physics. So they
So do you think it was like so do they think it was like a jealousy thing where it was like I should have what you have, something like that?
want to know more about that, and we haven't gotten much information about what happened between them in the intervening years, just in terms of did he become obsessive about this individual? Then let's look at Brown University. They, in their statement this evening, they noted that they still don't know exactly why the students were targeted. They know that Brown University was targeted, but if you read the transcript carefully, he says he wasn't even wanting to open fire in that particular auditorium. So it
Mm.
really was kind of random. But what he says is that he clearly had cased this campus multiple times in the last year. And we know from our own reporting that he had rented a vehicle in the Boston area several times in the last year. So, what this transcript does for me is kind of put the puzzle pieces together of how much time he spent lurking on campus before carrying out the attack, and that raises serious security concerns to me when it comes to campus security.
Yeah, absolutely. Disturbing.
Mm, not before we get over that. I don't think it raises any concerns for campus security to me, just because I lived in a. Of course, I went to college, of course, but just thinking about the school in general, I could have. Yeah, anybody can drive through the campus. Anybody, they don't stop you. It's not like a private college. At least most of these places are. I don't know about Brown's University, but the college I went to, no. You could drive through it. Anybody can walk up to the building. And some of the buildings, I'm trying to think, was there any code or anything? No. During school time, just walk in. You can just walk in. Hmm. Absolutely correct. There might be security guards sometimes, but usually, yeah, just walk in. But let's get over into this just to key details from the tapes. So, lack of remorse, like they talk about in the recording, which was primarily in Portugal. I They said I also don't regret what I did, and I refuse to apologize, claiming that during my lifetime, no one sincerely apologized to me. He revealed that he had been planning the attack for 6 semesters, or at least 6 months, and had previously cased the Browns University campus multiple times, like what they mentioned in the video. Despite all that, they still don't have a clear motive of why they targeted anyone. Specific self, he complained extensively about self-inflicted injury to his right eye, which occurred when a shell casing ricocheted and hit him while he was shooting the MIT professor at close range. He addressed rumors that he had shouted Allah Akbar during the shooting. He clarified that he does not speak Arabic and that he said if he said anything, it was likely an exclamation. And then he insisted that he was sane and that the world cannot be redeemed. Absolutely crazy situation, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on the tapes. How do you feel about it? They still got to do a lot of extensive digging to find out a clear motive. If he kept track of his old um, the MIT professor as they got older, why he did it? Was he just jealous of anything? It sounded like he wasn't planning to do the exact location at the Browns University College. It was just at that point he was planning to attack Browns University, but he wasn't planning to attack that exact location. So it was just it was a moment of passion, kind of. So absolutely crazy situation. But let me know your thoughts on that whole thing. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. What are your thoughts on this whole situation? Absolutely crazy. It's a crazy world, but we got to review it together. We have to review it together. But we're gonna pivot over.